I've said some things in the past about dating, about women, and how that interrelates with sales. Do you remember?
Oh yes, I remember. It's not what they say to you; it's how you react to that. And if you're present in the moment, not worrying about what they're gonna, how you're gonna respond to what they're saying, just let them talk, listen, connect with them, and then even if they tell you to go away.
Yes.
Okay, it's how you react to that.
It's all about the reaction to whatever is said. So just like business.
Well, you were talking earlier about finding agreement.
Yes, forming
agreement, not necessarily agreeing with them, but forming agreement, which there's 3 portions to that. There's empathy.
Yes.
Understanding.
Yep.
And I cannot remember the third one.
The third one, it's basically with your words making them feel heard.
Emotion.
Yes.
Spiritual.
That spiritual, emotional, and the logical understanding or forming of that agreement.
But what hit me in that conversation mostly is that forming agreements with someone doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with them.
1,000,000%.
Okay, you just agree that you understand what they're saying.
So you understand, or you're okay with the fact that is their truth.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting because we can bring this full circle. Whether it's you're at a bar and you see someone pretty that you want to talk to, it doesn't matter what you say to them. What's most important is you start the conversation, because there's no reality.
Nothing's going to happen without that.
Once it's started, whatever they say back to you, it's how you respond. So form agreement. Spiritually, you have to be okay with the fact that if they're upset with you, it's really not about you. Emotionally, you have to make them feel as though they're heard. And logically, that's where the words come in. So, for example, so if I walk to somebody, whether it's a sale or whether it's in a club, and made a snarky comment,
mm-hmm.
I'm doing that to get some kind of energy flowing. Just like a cold call. You call the person, 99% of the time they're going to be upset.
I know what a hot call is.
Oh!
I have no idea what a cold call is.
Cold calls, calls that only lead to disappointment.
Yes.
Hot calls start with the heart. You obtain the truth by asking questions, and you act in the theater of your life. You're prepared for it. So anyway, side note that you're just communicating. You're starting a communication. Once your mouth opens and things come out, and then they respond, that's when the sale starts. That's when the date starts.
And that's where 99% of people fall.
They'll fall.
Because they don't know what to say when that retort comes back. And they're like, what do I say now?
Perfect. That's where the obtained truth comes from in hot call methodology or ideology. Starting with the heart is forming agreement with yourself, knowing that that's their truth and you're not going to take it personally. Obtaining truth is knowing what to say back now. Like, how do you actually overcome that negative energy? And then acting in the theater of life is the practice. Because at the end of the day, things we're good at, we practice.
But we may not overcome that negative. And you have to be okay with that. That's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
And that's fine. Not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody is going to respond to you. And that's fine. That's their truth. That's their world. It's not about you. It's about them and where they are.
We had a couple calls today, and they all went relatively smooth, like butter.
They did, except one
that wanted to cut me with the butter knife.
Yes.
And how did I? So it's not important what they said. How did I act? How did I respond?
You were respectful. You met her on her term, or on her plane, and you did get information from her.
And I attempted to get more.
Not all the information you wanted.
Ooh, she was tough.
She was. But, you learned something about the company, or the place that we were calling, and enough to get you to the next stage.
I think she wanted me.